Good day. We are Group 8, tasked to report on Universally Composable RFID Mutual Authentication by Su, Santoso, Lee, Deng, and Huang. Abstract. Universally Composable UC framework provides the strongest security notion for designing fully trusted cryptographic protocols and is very challenging on applying UC security in the design of RFID mutual authentication protocols. In this paper, the researchers formulate the necessary conditions for achieving UC-secured RFID mutual authentication protocols which can be fully trusted in arbitrary environment and indicate the inadequacy of some existing schemes under the UC framework. The researchers define the ideal functionality for RFID mutual authentication and propose the first UC secure RFID mutual authentication protocol based on public key encryption and certain trusted third parties which can be modeled as functionalities. The researchers proved the security of their protocol under the strongest adversary model, assuming both the tags and the reader's corruptions. The researchers also pretend two public key update protocols for the cases of multiple readers. One uses Message Authentication Code or MAC and the other uses Trusted Certificates in Public Key Infrastructure or PKI.
Introduction. RFID mutual authentication is a major theme in RFID security and privacy research. It requires that an RFID tag authenticate itself to a reader and that the reader authenticate itself to the tag, such that they are assured of each other's identities. In this paper, we focus on RFID mutual authentication protocols with the Universally Composable or UC framework, cryptographic protocols that are secured in the UC framework guarantee that the protocols remain secure even when composed concurrently with an unbounded number of instances of arbitrary protocols. This is known as the strongest computational security model for cryptographic protocols. A protocol which is secured under the UC framework can thus be used to construct a fully trusted functionality under arbitrary protocols composition.
Objectives. The main objective of this study is to take all analyses of the most promising radio frequency identification. The ultimate objectives being 1. The improvement of the quality and efficiency of communicate through the use of information and communication technologies. Number 2. The strengthening of radio frequency identification, industry's ability to capture the opportunities for deploying radio frequency identification.
Significance. The significance of mutual authentication is the initial and most significant line of defense in any open and trusted network system. Weaknesses in mutual authentication protocol may lead to eavesdropping, unauthorized access to tags or reader data, denial of service attacks, counterfeiting attacks, desynchronization attack, location tracking, cloning attack, timing attack, man-in-the-middle attack, spoofing attack, and many more. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that it's all about the protection of the user's and the organization information that signifies studies.
Technical background. RFID Mutual Authentication Protocol. As a malicious reader could obtain unauthorized information from a tag during the tag authentication, so it has important issue of authenticating the reader as well. As a countermeasure, TUDIC proposed the YA trip and the YA trap schemes based on timestamps to do the mutual authentication An RFID mutual authentication scheme is such that the output is correct except with a negligible probability. Security definition of the user framework. A protocol that is secure within the framework proposed by Canati is called universally composable. We say that the protocol UC realizes the given functionality. In UC framework, a computationally limited entity called the environment Z has to distinguish between an execution of the protocol with the adversary A and an execution of an ideal functionality with simulator S.
Methodology. On designing a UC secure protocol, you have to provide a relatively general and minimal assumption that can be realized by a number of quite different and alternative setup mechanisms. The common reference strings or the CRS model is used in our protocol. According to Baum, Feldman, and Mikali says that this model, all parties had access to a common string that was ideally drawn from some publicly known distribution. It acts as a trusted third party which allows parties to register their identities together with an associated public key. We first considered an RFID system comprising of a single legitimate reader and a set of RFID tags. The reader and the tags are probabilistic polynomial time Turing interactive machine. Typically, each tag is a passive transponder identified by a unique ID and has only limited memory, which can be used to store only several keys and or state information. We modify the protocol from PAISE and Codinai C based on the CCA Secure Public Key Crypto System or the PKC. A PKC includes a key generator that an encryption algorithm and a decryption algorithm. The SIM is CCA secure if all polynomial time adversaries with the CCA game with digitable advantage. We have already proposed a UC secure protocol from RFID mutual authentication without key update above. Hereby, we deal with the situation on updating the public keys in the cases of multiple readers. We focus on how to update the tags keys for further authentication to other readers. We securely against relay attacks relies on the uniqueness of the session identifier, so each instance of the protocol. The first one is the multiple readers public key update with message authentication code. We assume that key update is executed during the reader's authentication to the tag. Here we apply message authentication code or the MAC, which is sometimes called the key or the cryptographic hash function. The hash algorithm computes with a secret key and an arbitrary language to be authenticated and outputs a MAC value. A MAC value protects both a message's data identity as well as its authenticity by allowing verifiers to detect any change to the message content. And the second one is multiple readers public key update with certification. Trillis key update in ubiquitous RFID environments where readers do not know each other beforehand. We can rely on the public key infrastructure or the PKI for updating multiple readers public keys with certification. In our model, the certificates from readers hand over their trust element to CA instead of proving the authenticity of digital certificate. Once tags are assured that CA you are dealing with is trustworthy indirectly tags trust in every other certificate the CA guarantees for. The basic idea is to introduce a CA or the certification authority in the RFID system to certify the public keys of those readers. Thus, the tag is only required to store the public key certificate of the CA.
Scopes of the chip. Our scope of the RFID Mutual Authentication Protocol on our document is the categorization and research overview of quick overview and understanding of the domain that will serve as the input to derive more effective and efficient algorithms for RFID mutual authentication for future generations to use. The RFID system will also allow easy and fast data collections directly in digital supports, removing paper-based registers. At the same time, the number of errors is reduced and a better use for employees' time is achieved. Limitations. RFID has shortcomings, just as barcodes do. You can't, for instance, read 100 barcodes on items within a box. You can with RFID, but not with tags or within metal enclosures, since RF waves would bounce off the metals. What's more, you can't always read tags with perfect accuracy since radio waves might be block or cancel each other out. Another thing is that barcodes aren't always readable either. They can either be damaged or through long prolonged periods of time must be have erasures and things like that. They can become damaged and therefore unable to be read. Therefore, and also there are also human errors that often makes the problems for the codes that are make it unable to be readable.
Result and discussion. Here, we show that the impossibility result refers to non-trivial protocol. A non-trivial protocol has the property that if the real-world adversary delivers all message and does not corrupt any parties, then the ideal world adversary also delivers all messages. Both the readers and the tags are ensured to pass the mutual authentication verifications at the end of protocol execution. It provides two ways. One, both the readers and the tags use some keys or randomness which satisfy a certain relation. Two, the adversary passes all message between readers and tags without modifying them or inserting any message of its own.
Conclusion. We present highly practical RFID authentication and authenticated key exchange protocols that are probably secured in the Universal Composability Framework and that provide for forward anonymity, authenticity, availability, and session key indistinguishability. Additionally, we describe how to implement our protocol using only pseudo-random generator. Therefore, that the proposed implementations are feasible for a wide range of RFID architectures.
That is all. Thank you for listening. Good day.